guys, Work here, and I've got something for you that's a little bit different today. It's a little bit more civilized, you could say, and that is the Field Notes case from Popov leather. So before we get into the tabletop, I'm sure you're wondering, why do I have this? I recently did an EDC video, and in that EDC video I was talking about the things that I have on me every single day, all the time, the things that I always have in my pockets. Well, this is one of those additional things that I was talking about. This is one of the things that is usually with me. This usually stays in my bag, on my desk at work, or some other place. Now, by night, I'm a failing gun YouTuber, but by day, I'm actually a pretty good CAD user at a pretty big company. So as I'm running around attending different meetings, it's nice to be able to have something nice quality to be able to sit out and take notes on, rather than just the flippy paper that you usually use in those situations. That's where Popov came in. They actually got a hold of me and asked me if I wanted to run one of their wallets. Well, their wallets are more of the minimalistic wallet style, and it's a front pocket wallet, and I'm not that kind of wallet guy. I'm not a minimalistic wallet person. I don't like the tiny wallets. I carry all the stuff that I need. I don't want to compromise there. So instead I said, hey, you know, I don't need a wallet, but I've been looking around your repertoire of amazing leather goods, and I saw this, the Fields case. Now, for those of you who don't know what a Fields notebook is, it's this little, I think it's 3x5 inch notebook. They're a really nice universal size. It's big enough that you can write on, you can get quite a bit of information on the pages. It's small enough that if I wanted, I can toss this in a back pocket and run from meeting to meeting. Now that you guys kind of know the why, let's go over the what. Popov is a Canadian leather company. And I tell you, follow these guys on social media, because some of the stuff that they produce is exquisite, and I do not use that term lightly. The leather that they use is just a really, really nice grained leather, and you can tell that they put a lot of time into the leather goods that they make. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and hit the bench, now that you know the why and the who, and let's go over the what, and take a look and see what just makes this thing so nice. Alright guys, so as I said, this is the Field Notes case from Popov leather, and I just wanted to go over it a little bit better where you guys can see a little bit more. So let me zoom in really quick and let's have at it. This particular one is in heritage brown with tan stitching, and the general design of it is a bifold with 2 card slots, a front slot, and then a rear slot, and that is what your Field Notes case is tucked into. Now, I actually purchased another set of field books, and I put another one in the front here because there's plenty of space as this thing is folded to be able to handle a little bit more paper in there. And I actually, I really like this because it gives me the ability to keep 2 completely different sets of notes inside my case here. The stitching is, I'm assuming hand stitching, but it is extremely uniform around the entire thing. It is fully stitched, and that stitching goes around to the other side as well. So you can see here, in between the 2 halves, the leather is just the raw backside of the leather, and then they've got the finished leather on the front and the back where they've sewn on this additional pad here to hold the field notes. The quality of the leather is just, it's a really beautiful aged classic look, but I do want to mention this thing is not a hard use case. It is relatively fragile. As you see here, this is nice. All it takes is one small finger, and now I've created a line in it. And that line doesn't go away. So I've been really careful with this thing to minimize the number of places that I've actually scratched it, but if you're pretty hard on these things, be prepared. That beautiful finish here is not gonna hold. It does come off pretty easily. So even though I've been kind of nice with it, it's spent quite a bit of time in my back pocket, and it hasn't deformed much at all. Now, it has deformed a little bit here. You can see a line where the leather folds internally. There's actually, so this piece right here actually comes to a little bit of a V and stops about here, and that's created a seam on the front. The back does not have that because the back is a single piece that goes all the way down, but it will conform a little bit. Now overall, it's held up really well other than just the little nicks and scratches. It's not, none of the stitching has come loose. It's not getting overly bent or crinkled back here on the spine. Honestly, my biggest complaint about this is the method in which they retain the pen and close the book. So as you see here, we've got 2, these are just elastic loops on either side of the case. When you place it together and you take a pen, you slide the pen down through those, and that keeps your notebook closed. Now, so let me explain kind of why I don't so much like this. First of all, these loops are rather tiny, and I've had a hard time finding pens that fit in here nicely without what I feel is overstretching it, and that are nice and smooth to take in and out. And the second thing that I don't like so much is the little lip here that it creates when you actually do it. It does, see that separation between the front and the back halves? It's nothing, I mean, it's not going to damage it, it's not going to do anything wrong. It's just, it doesn't look quite as nice as it did because as I use it, that just keeps getting bent out. You know, it just kind of breaks the view, which is this nice waxed seam all around here, and then it just splits, and it just doesn't look as nice as I feel like it should. It would be nice to get like a little magnetic flap or something. That would be awesome, but I understand they're trying to hit a price point, and even though the price point isn't low, any little addition does increase the cost. But as I said, I've had a hard time finding pens that slide in here nicely to be able to lock that closed. And that's pretty much the rundown of it. Let's go ahead and sum it up. So that's it, guys. That is the review of the Field Notes case by Popov Leather. You'll find a link to their website in the description down below. And again, even if you're not gonna buy something from these guys, follow them on social media. I'll put social media links down below as well so that you can take a look at that. Is this particular item cheap? No, this comes in at around $69. It's quite pricey, but when you look at the quality of the leather, that it's hand-stitched, it's absolutely a beautiful piece. And you will get compliments on this every time you toss it out on the table to take notes. This is not so much a necessity for EDC, like a knife or something like that. This is one of those items that gives your EDC class. And no, you don't always need class in your EDC. I mean, there are plenty of the EDC stuff out there that's minimalistic or just the bare essentials. This is taking it a little bit beyond. If you really want to treat yourself with your EDC and get a quality piece that is going to be super nice, and you're willing to spend a little bit of extra money on that, check out Popov Leather. Guys, thank you for watching. If you like what we do here and you want to help out a little bit, hop over to our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/WorkTheTrigger to help out just a little bit. We appreciate every single little bit that you guys give, even if it's just a view, a thumbs up, and a comment down below. Every single one of those counts, and it's going to help us out here on the channel. Again, thank you guys. I appreciate every one of you, and until next time, do your research, get informed, and get to work.